Good morning, y'all. Remember back in the protests, the abortions that was happening, where you had these right wing nuts that were anti abortion going and bombing and raising all sorts of hell at the abortion clinics? That was completely wrong of them. And yes, I am anti abortion. But I also think there's a right way and a wrong way. But my point is about these protests that we're having today, about the Black Lives Matter movement. It seems that we've forgotten what it's really all about. Just about every American will acknowledge that there has been police brutality and that it's really difficult to get rid of bad cops. Extremely difficult. And that is the real issue at hand, folks, of these protests today. We're losing track with it, following the social media, following the mainstream media and everything else. I mean, it started out as a grassroots movement of, hey, you know what? Even though George Floyd was wrong, trying to pass counterfeit money, he didn't deserve to die in the manner that he did. Is it possible that he resisted arrest? Yes, but did they need to take the extreme measures with four other cops standing around watching him while that other cop was kneeling on his neck? No, there was extreme measures that were taken there that were not necessary. Stuff like this happens all the time. So now, how does this tie through with the abortion versus the Black Lives Matter protests of today? What's the tie-in together? Well, many of y'all are going to say that the people protesting, all the white people, they're snowflakes and this and that. Yeah, whatever. I mean, those are all just names. My take on it is the protest that was done against the abortions, the way it was handled, was a bunch of right-wing nut jobs. And the people on out here doing the rioting and the looting are a bunch of left-wing nut jobs. That's why underneath when the Republicans, they're anti-abortion, they got tagged with being these nut jobs that was going up and blowing up these clinics and stuff. And now these Black Lives Matter people, many of them are very peaceful, do not want to defund the police, but y'all listen to your social media and your mainstream media, and that's what they're making it all about. The message is being lost, folks. Yes, there does need to be some changes made in this country. You know, I'm a white male, and yes, I have been facially profiled because of my looks. I ain't the best looking guy. I look pretty ratty and stuff with his beard and everything. I can see why cops would pull me over, but I still don't have to drive down the street. And before I drive, especially at nighttime, I don't have to take my wallet on out, pull my driver's license on out, and put it on the dash, put my registration, my insurance, so that the cop, when he comes walking up to me, isn't afraid of me pulling out my wallet from my back pocket, thinking that I'm reaching for a gun. You know what? It's real. Black people do have these issues that we don't even know about, that we don't even face. Things do need to change in this nation. They really do. But we're all getting caught up, taking one side or the other on the extremism, and we're letting the media, we're letting the filth that's coming from the media, as well as from social media and YouTube social media, etc., we're letting it influence our beliefs without us using our own real thought process, saying, you know what? Yeah, sometimes there is a change that needs to be done. Sometimes I do need to consider the other side's person's thoughts and the feelings of what's really happening. What is being portrayed on here is real. Let's take the feds, up in Portland and stuff. Well, personally, my personal belief is if the mayor and the city council was doing their jobs appropriately, and I believe very strongly in defunding the police unions and the teachers unions, by the way, that's a whole other deal. You know, as soon as you have unions in government business and government involvement, unions totally corrupt it. It makes it very extremely difficult to get rid of the bad ones that you need to get rid of. And that's why government gets such a huge bad reputation. Things like this need to be resolved. Does it mean that we have to get rid of the unions? I don't know. I don't know what the real answer is, what to do with it. But you know what? When you have a cop or a teacher, and you get all these complaints about them, but nothing happens, or they'll pass them on to the next, police department, so they'll have them out of their hair, and they won't have to deal with it. And you got cops standing around not report until the video goes viral. These cops won't even say, "Hey, you know what? This cop did wrong." They won't even stand up and say this cop did wrong until the video goes viral, and then they got to save face and say, "Yeah, he did wrong." It's frustrating to me at my end where I'm sitting at things and seeing all this stuff happening, and people are taking sides. I mean, I'm so far conservative, folks, that I can't be a Republican. I mean, they're too liberal for me. The Republican Party is. But does that mean that I can't sit back and listen to liberal ideas? Do I feel like I need to poke fun of the liberal ideas and insult them? Does that make me feel better than them? Like I'm smarter or I know more? No, I think that's taking cheap shots back and forth. What they're doing is making people, all of you on out there, take these sides and not using your own brains to figure things on out for yourself. Say, hey, you know what? We can all live peacefully together. We can do it. But we're going to have to learn how to shut up and listen. Seriously. I mean, if our city council in Portland was doing its job and they were saying, hey, you know what? There's protests going on. We want to know not just about what these protesters are thinking, but what about the businesses? What are they thinking? What can we do to provide the security for our protesters and for our businesses? We got to look at both ends. And you know what? You can't look out just for one and not the other. You have to look out just as strongly for both sides, not just for one side. Even if the business or the people that's protesting, even if they're going against your beliefs and values, we're Americans. We have freedom of speech. And I do believe in fighting for other people's rights to voice their opinions, even if it's against my own opinion. I should listen to their opinions. If I don't listen to their opinions, I'm a closed-minded fool if I don't listen to their thoughts, their fears. These feds are being pushed to the point where they're going to have to get involved in these cities. We don't want that. We don't want the feds coming on in and declaring, martial law and stuff and taking over our states and saying, hey, this is what we're doing and stuff. We don't want to do that. So anyway, these feds, they're going to have to get actively involved, even more so in my belief, to protect those businesses up there. There's a lot of money being lost up there through all this protest. But is it the peaceful protesters' fault? No, it's not. It's the crazies that come out late at night that do this. The rioters and the looters and the troublemakers. During the daytime, most of it is pretty peaceful. The feds are getting a bad rap. They're saying, hey, you know what? They're coming on out there in unmarked cars. Well, cops have unmarked cars all the time. If you follow what the feds are saying, hey, you know what? We spotted the guy. We tracked the guy. He matched the ID. We detained the guy. We hauled him up, put him in, loaded up in the car. 10 minutes later, we realized he was the wrong guy, and we turned him loose. No big deal. It's going to happen. But the media has portrayed it like, oh, they just come on in there and they just took him, hauled him off, and they don't tell the rest of the story. Or if you listen to the liberal media, the CBS and NBC and CNN, if you listen to their media, how they say, oh, the feds are doing all this horrible stuff. The feds are just taking over the city. They're just destroying us. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Why aren't we getting involved more in our own local government? Now, this is in my state that this is happening, and I do want to protest in my state. I want to send letters to the governor, and I do send letters to my governor. But I don't want any of you out there in any other state minding my business in my state You have enough problems in your own states to deal with. Take it at home. You can't change. You have no say what happens in my state, and I have no say what happens in your state. So, folks, if we're going to fix our nation, we have to get involved in our own local governments, what's going on. We have to find out. And by the way, if you follow the local news and stuff like that, they don't tell you what's happening in your state. You got to dig for it. Yeah, you got to use your brain. Something that a lot of people on YouTube just don't seem to know how to do is use their brains. I don't know. I think the IQ of the IQ of most YouTubers, I think it's smaller than my shoe size. I know my IQ's lower than my shoe size, but it's so exasperating watching the filth that comes. I'm not talking about the language. I'm just talking about the disgusting false reporting that's going on that so many of y'all are falling for. Folks, I got news for you. Trump is not the problem. Hillary is not the problem. Joe Biden is not the problem. You know what the problem is? It's you. You're the problem. Seriously. Y'all need to do some deep soul searching and see what part you played in bringing this world to where it's at today. Do some deep down soul searching. How did you raise your kids? Because these are your kids and your grandkids that are out there, and their friends that are out there doing this stuff. What was your part? And how can you start talking to your children and their friends and making a difference? It starts at home, folks. It starts right here at home. Then it goes to your family. And then it goes to your friends. And it goes on out. Make the difference. Find out what the real truth is. Be willing to listen to other sides and other people's fears and concerns and dreams. Listen to them. Because if you don't listen, this country is just going to keep on going downhill. You're going to keep on having this group going farther and further to the right, this one group's going further and further to the left, and the middle will completely disappear. And when we get so divided, so far to the right and to the left, that there's no middle, that middle is now a war zone. And you know what? One side or the other is going to win, and the other side will be eradicated. Literally, you listen to the nut jobs on the conservative sides. They want all these liberals and stuff dead. They want them gone. Get out of our country. You're out of here. We don't even want to listen to you. They're radicals. That's how right wing the radical ideas are. Oh yeah, you'll say no, I don't want that. But you listen down deep and soul search yourself and what on the people that you're listening to, and that's what they're saying is, we don't want no part of them. They might say words of it here and there. Oh yeah, I believe in free speech. But you listen to their ideas realistically, no, they don't. At least the liberals are more honest than the conservatives on this stuff. Yeah, they want you gone. Period. The conservatives, they flat out lie about it. You listen to them, they make fun of them, they push them on the corner, It's what divides this nation. It's both sides of us doing this. I don't know. That's my rant for today. Just remember, folks, that the girls don't find you handsome like me. They can find you handy like me. And if they don't find you handy like me, we'll just pray that they find you. And hey, if you like this rant, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Watch some more of my videos. See you later. Bye.